It was 17 years ago at the Shluchos, Matzah Shabbos, after the Malava Malka program. A few of us friends were sitting together in the entire ballroom and discussing our struggles and our deliberations about giving our children chinuch al taras hakodesh.
My first years of kinnos, I remember seeing some of my friends after, I don't know if it was after the banquet or after Matzah Shabbos, and I was like, we really need to sit down in Farbrengen. Like, we need to have like some time where we're just talking to each other and singing and giving each other chizuk and not just listening.
We'd come together and just have like a heart-to-heart, shluchos to shluchos, friend to friend Farbrengen. We would just talk about life, talk about our children, talk about our chinuch situation, our struggles, and really inspire each other to go back home and be ready to continue our shluchos. And it was this one Farbrengen that many of us, if not all of us, cannot forget. I can't believe it's 17 years ago. It feels like maybe 8.
At the time, the Shluchim online school was not yet in existence, so the options were sending children away from home at a young age, homeschooling, or sending them to a local day school if there was one. And we were sitting there debating the different options, pitfalls, etc. of each option. One of the women that was sitting there was a woman who was a bit younger than me, yet she has not been blessed at the time with children. She was married for about 10 years and did not yet have children, and was participating in this conversation as if it was negeya to her, like the rest of us. And that was to me very inspiring, as I myself was struggling at the time with secondary infertility. I was having a hard time accepting it. As this conversation was going on to the wee hours of the night, and I saw how this woman was happy and participating in this conversation as if it was negeya to her, like to the rest of us.
At about 2-3 o'clock, we had a couple of the shluchos stood up and left, which was normal. At a certain point, people start leaving. And it was the shlucha that left actually had no children. So after she left, one of the shluchos said, was the chassidische Farbrengen kan eiftan, kan malch machal nish eiftan. Let's give this shlucha a bracha from the source of a Farbrengen, that the Rebbe should give her a bracha, and she should have a child.
So she said, let's take this opportunity now where we're sitting together and say a l'chaim for this woman that she should be gebenched with children. As I was of the older ones around the table, they asked me to say the l'chaim. So I took the cup, and thinking about her, but also thinking about myself, I said that anybody who needs bracha for Zara Chaya v'Kayama should be geholfen with Zara Chaya v'Kayama.
But it was very warmed, very ungewarmt, and people were like mentioning about, I also wanted a bracha, whether, Baruch Hashem, the other shluchos did have children, but people, it was either several years or up to 6-7 years that shluchos around the table were hoping for continued brachas of more children. And the next year, I believe 3 to 5 of us shluchos, myself included, were either pregnant or already had a child by the end of this year, before the following Chaf B'Shvat.
Remember the l'chaim of giving brachos to those who needed it. And the next year, a few people spoke again when we had another Farbrengen, how they were blessed with kids that year, and they saw the brachos, and we did the wishes again.
That year, Baruch Hashem, out of the blue, I became pregnant with my 6th child. And when I came to the Kinnis Shluchos a year later, I was very, very happy and astonished to find out that quite a few women who were present at that Farbrengen also came with newborn babies, and also that first woman who hadn't had any children for 10 years she too was gebenched with a child. And this brought home to us very, very, very strongly the idea that what a Chassidish Farbrengen can uftan, can mach michal nish uftan. And since then, we usually take this opportunity when we're all together to wish each other from the bottom of our hearts everything that one desires and needs. We bench each other. There should be geholfen, zara chai v'kiyama, parnasa barachava, brias nechayna, shidduchim, chassidish nachas from our children, etc., etc.
During this incredible, special time of Chaf B'Shvat, may we all be zeicha. Anybody that needs brachas for gesund, for children, for nachas, chassidish nachas, for shidduchim, may we all be gebenched with everything that we can possibly need.
L'chaim u'levracha.
Chaim Shluchos.